This is a podcast.
There we go.
But I think if we ever did to do like a live, like, show somewhere else,
Right.
we need to have that song, but like mariachi band. I think that would be awesome.
What do you think, Noah?
No mariachi band.
He's all choked up about it.
Yes.
That's
No
how good of an idea it was.
It's a bad idea.
But a mariachi band singing "This Is a Podcast"
Yep.
would be great.
I think we need to get a metal band who can actually play it.
That would be fun. Okay, you guys talk. I'm gonna pet Dolly.
Talk
Okay.
about what?
She's
What
like,
do you mean just talk? You have a topic.
yeah. My attention's elsewhere right now.
No
because
intermissions. We only have 45 minutes. We gotta
Little
get
one,
this-
little one needs my attention.
No, she's a cat. She's a cat. Cats don't even have souls.
Oh, so you called her a ginger? Because gingers are just about. Anyway, all right. Well, we're gonna jump right into this one, I think. Maybe. So, it's enough of our little rambling that we do. We have a interesting topic, I think, that we're going to talk about today, and it has to do with sellout. I guess for the sake of lack of a better phrase for it, that's kind of what we're talking about. It's just, it's interesting. And me and Dave had this conversation, was it Friday?
Yeah, it was Friday night.
It is just a very small conversation that we had about this, about how so many different, like, when you first think about it, we say celebrities, but when you first think about it, you really think of musicians, because musicians are
Sellouts.
the ones with the most, and they tend to switch things up, and a lot of it has to do with just money. They follow what's popular at the moment, and that is the definition of a sellout. So we want to kind of talk about that a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, it kind of annoys me.
That we can't sell out like they do.
Well, I mean, we could if we wanted to.
No one's paying us for this.
No, nobody's paying us at all, and that's the great thing about this. We do this on our own dime. We do this for fun. Because if we did it for money, we wouldn't be doing it for fun.
Yes,
Could be
but then we would
sellouts,
have
though.
money.
We could contact the DNC. They need our help.
Ooh,
Okay.
I mean, at this point, they'll take anybody. So,
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but and that's part of the thing right there. Okay, that's a great opening to our topic. Is we just finished up the election. We just finished up, something that is just like I historical, whether one way or the other.
Right.
And I don't want to get into politics as far as myself, but it's interesting on how the DNC went from one person being the greatest president that ever lived, being the next president, everybody's backing him up, and then suddenly he's not in the race anymore, and on a dime, every single one of them flipped over to this other person and was like,
Yeah.
oh, this person's the greatest that ever lived. This person's going to be the next president of the United States for the next 50 years. And, this is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened. And it's just, it boggles my mind on how people are so flippant to, the sake of, I don't know, just they do it, and I don't even think they actually realize the consequences of their own actions.
Okay.
So if we take this discussion in a political direction, it's going to take up the whole time. So we can either change the subject and talk about the election, or we can continue with the original topic.
No, I want to continue with the original topic, but this is like I said, when you brought that up, that brings up a great starter point, because that right there is the definition of a sellout. Everybody was backed up to this, well, we all know who it was. Everybody was backed up to Biden, and everybody was willing to give their heart and soul to this guy, and then literally the very next day, everybody's like, "Oh, he sucks. We're here now."
I don't think that was much selling out as just damage control after we caught them in a lie.
Well, but I mean,
because that's they're telling us, he's lucid, he's with it, he knows, what he's talking about, he's very sharp, and then we all actually saw him speak on television, and it became obvious that that's been a lie the whole time.
everybody knew that when he was vice president under Obama. I mean, everybody knew that he was losing his mind at that point.
Robin Williams was making jokes about stuttering Joe Biden in like 2006.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And and again, I mean, and I guess maybe it's not. Well, and if you want to call it sellout, the DNC did kind of sell out, because instead of backing up the one person that's already in office, or at least finding somebody better, they were just like,
They went
oh,
with a convenient option.
yeah, here's
'Cause she was right there.
and right now the main topic as far as political sense goes is they want the first female president. They want the first female, person in power, that type of thing, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get that done, which again kind of goes right along with what we're talking about in in a sense, because people are willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want, and a lot of times it's not about what you're doing, it's about what you can get out of it nowadays, if that makes any sense. I think about a lot of times, and again, we might end up going a lot more into the musician side of it, because
Politics should be a musical. It shouldn't be the boring, stuffy thing that it is now. It should be a singing, a show-stopping, masterpiece, or at least a dance competition. I think Dancing with the Democrats sounds way better than Dancing with the Stars. And we should put, the Republican and Democrat front runner into a competition like that. They do, and then that's who gets to be president.
kind of like America's Got Talent.
Yeah, America's got I don't know.
Yeah.
Idiots. America's got idiots.
Well,
Lots
yes,
of them.
yes.
that was kind of the whole point of America's Got Talent. They just put the worst singers up there, and the judge just ripped these poor autistic people apart.
Yeah.
A lot of times, yeah, and I don't know. Like those shows were always good the first 2 seasons, and then after that it just sucked
Well, because
balls.
it got repetitive. It got to be the exact same formula over and over and over.
Yeah.
Nearly every, and I noticed this back in what, like 2009 or something. Like out of, I don't know how many seasons it had been running, but we'll say 6 or 7. Like 5 out of the 7 were singers,
Mm-hmm.
the ones who won, and somehow the runner-ups tended to get more attention than the winners.
Mm-hmm.
And every single year during the audition phase, it was always the most talent we've ever had on this show. Like, it got to be, like, predictable.
Yeah. And yeah. Because I never really watched America's Got Talent all that much. The only time that I ever watched it was when Lindsay Sterling was on. Lindsay Sterling, for those who don't know, she is a very...
she's definitely made a name for herself now.
Yes, she has. She's very, very talented, violinist. And it was one of those things that when she was on America's Got Talent, the judges told her that you're not gonna make it. You were rigid. You missed some notes during your musical piece, and now she is just like super popular.
Yeah.
And
Good luck getting tickets to one of her shows.
I actually got to go to one of her shows.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, I took my daughter because my daughter wanted to go, and it was probably like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't quite as large as she is now.
Right.
But shortly after, like, everybody wanted to collaborate with her, she just took off. Now she's doing what's it called? Cruise ships.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's on like she's done a couple of cruise liners, like, and just I spend a week with her and her really hot dancers.
Yes. Okay.
Her dancers are hot, but
She's not bad herself.
no, she's not. She's really not. She's really small. Like you see her on stage does not give her justice when you see her in person.
Yeah.
Like, she is like little bitty. But everybody wants to collaborate with her.
Is she a sellout? Like, how is this time?
Well, see, no, I don't think she is.
No,
I don't
not
want to
yet
say
anyway.
that she is.
She might eventually.
My thing is she might eventually. But my thing of it is
the violinist.
And see, okay, now
Never say never.
where I do kind of agree with that, because you can put a violin in just about any music and make it work. The thing is, so many people want to collaborate with her that she's going to basically sell. When I say sell out, she's going to be so far out there with so many different people that you're going to get tired of hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Just
look
like
at,
the song All Summer Long by Kid Rock.
I have no idea what that is.
All Summer Long by Kid Rock?
I don't.
Never heard it.
When I said I don't know what that is, you saying it twice doesn't help me.
That song was so overplayed the year it came out. It was on like every station.
Nobody listens to the radio or Kid Rock.
No. Wait,
Well,
is that the one where it was like
It's
like the Sweet Home
it's,
Alabama?
Yeah, it's mashed up with Sweet Home Alabama
Oh.
and Werewolves of London.
Yeah. Okay. See, I didn't know the title of the stupid song. No, I hate that song. I absolutely hate that song.
Okay, so you've heard the song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard it.
And it was so overplayed the year it came out. I don't think it's that bad of a song, but for how prolific it was, like when it first came out, I didn't want to hear it for a while.
And see, that's the thing, is like, you get these good songs out there, and they just get played, and they get played, and they get played, and they get played. And there's remixes to them all.
I think that's more of a situation where the like radio stations are the ones selling out because they're trying to play the most popular thing, even if it doesn't necessarily fit with the genre, but it slightly does.
Yeah, no, I will give you that one. Where I draw the line, or where I think there's issues, is there's one song in particular. It's Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
Don't know it.
Thank
That
God.
song is great.
Really?
Is it perfect?
Seriously?
Wait, doesn't Pink have a song called Perfect?
I'm sure there's like a bunch of people that have songs called Perfect.
Yeah.
But
Are any of them perfect?
no. Ed Sheeran made a song called Perfect on one of his CDs, and it was a good song
What's a CD?
when it first came out. I know, right? When it first came out, it was good. But then it got played, and it got played, and it got played. And then, when you thought you were just about done playing that song, he did a collaboration with Beyonce.
Oh.
And it got played, and it got played, and it got played. And then he did a collaboration with Josh Groban.
Were they all the same song?
Yes.
Oh.
But it was just depending on what station you were on, this song was played different versions. And it got to the point where you literally could not turn the radio on without listening to that stupid song. And be it a sellout or not, I do count that as a major sellout from Ed Sheeran, because he went from him being himself to adding people in that were popular, and people added him because he was popular at the time because of money.
Yeah.
They knew they could get the money off of that song.
He took one he did that was like wildly popular, and he just wrote it until it couldn't go anymore.
Yes. And I actually liked Ed Sheeran when he first came out. I don't mind him now. I think there's a few of his songs that are good, but I prefer the songs that are not on the radio because you don't hear them anymore. You know, you don't listen to them. But going to, and you know, we're not thanking our lucky Beyonces for this. She honestly, in all honesty, is the ultimate sellout in my opinion. Because she went from Destiny's Child to doing her solo to marrying Jay-Z, which was like a big thing.
Of course.
And then they started doing music together, and then she tried to bring back Destiny's Child for the sake of, you know, that's what people wanted. So she brought it back, and then it's just like she started collaborating with all of these people that were popping up, you know, the real popular ones. And then she went to country music because for a while, you know, and it still kind of is at this moment, country music is wildly popular. So what did she do? She jumped to that country music thing because she knew people.
She was riding a trend.
Yeah, she knew people would eat that up. And I don't like her music to begin with, and her country music just sucked even worse.
She should collab with Metallica.
Metallica sucks.
Do not.
Okay.
They're like a C-tier metal band. Most metalcore bands are better.
Okay, we don't have time for
this. Better than Metallica.
We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this.
Yep, you guys are sellouts for liking Metallica. Metallica's the most sellout band ever.
I don't even like them that much, but
they're the most normie like rock band ever. They're the most like normie cringe dad rock bullcrap sellout garbage ever.
Coming from the guy that knows all Green Day songs.
Yes.
And then
what, you don't think Green Day are sellouts?
Green Day is Green Day's full on sellout. Yeah, Green Day's full on sellout.
Green Day and Metallica are right neck and neck. The difference is Green Day makes better music.
They made better music.
No, even their newer stuff is better than Metallica's newer stuff.
Well, actually, first of all, I wouldn't say better because they're in two different leagues. They're two slightly different genres. Like Green Day is pop punk and Metallica's, you know, they're not like the original metal, but they did kind of pioneer a lot of the things that we
consider metal.
Yeah, today.
Metallica's gay. They kiss each other. They're gay.
That's just like saying the Beatles are overrated because they're not hardcore enough.
No,
like
the Beatles are great. The Beatles are wonderful.
Right.
But putting Metallica on the same level of the Beatles is atrocious.
See, okay,
I lost the comparison there.
Yes, and this is a topic for this is actually a decent topic that we could do at another time.
Wait.
Trying to, because we're focused on we're not selling out to another topic for this.
We haven't made any
for this
progress
episode.
in this topic. We just
made
fun of Rihanna's country career.
Wait, Rihanna. Rihanna hasn't even
Beyonce, whatever. I don't give a crap.
Does Rihanna have a country album?
Probably.
But see, okay, well, if you guys would, interject, when I'm
We're
saying
waiting for
this
you to
stuff.
finish your point.
Interrupt. I don't care.
Been on the same point for 30 minutes.
Well, because it's a
okay.
point that
so I have
I-
a counterpoint to everything John's saying.
okay. Go for it.
Oh, okay.
One thing we're ignoring here is selling out is not just making a lot of money because you're doing popular stuff. Selling out is when you abandon your art to do that. So
Well,
if I'm
and
Ed Sheeran and I didn't have access to people like Rihanna before and I like what Rihanna creates, now once I'm popular, I have the ability to work with these cool people. A good example of that would be Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi. So now they're like best friends and they collab together. Like people just, once you have
Yeah.
access to that higher level of people, you make music together.
But the thing about it though is, okay, Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi, they stayed true to what they were doing to begin with.
Right.
They didn't jump genres for the sake of, making money. And that's my version of a sellout, is when
Right.
you take, you're no longer true to what you're doing. You're not true to your own art. You're true to what everybody else is doing at the time. As much as I actually kind of enjoy it a little bit, a lot of a lot of these pop and singers and stuff are going to like country music. Post Malone started doing country songs, and some of his songs are actually decent because he kind of has that voice. But when you listen to what he used to do versus what he's doing now, it's so weird, and you could tell it's for the sake of money. That's all it is.
No, it's absolutely not. And that's the problem with this discussion. Is it's a case-by-case basis that has to be examined carefully.
I have to agree with
Post
Noah
Malone
on that.
was a Bob Dylan fan before he was a rap fan.
Okay.
Okay? He was a country fan before he was a rap fan. He likes Coulter Wall. He keeps up with the current folk scene.
Okay,
Right,
and Beyonce liked the Rolling Stones when they were out. Big deal. I mean, that's the...
But she didn't go and make Rolling Stones music. He liked country music. He did country music, and he's going back to it now. Also, people are allowed to try out different stuff without being a sellout. It takes a
Right.
lot to prove someone's a sellout.
I agree. I do agree where, people are allowed to, experiment.
Yeah.
That's fine, but stay true to who you are.
Right. I kind of get it.
Whatever
Like,
you want. Have fun.
what-
You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire. Go have fun.
Yeah, the
some
last
guy
thing
on a
you need
podcast
is
calls you a sellout. Who cares?
the last thing you need is to go out and make more millions.
Well, okay, I
based
think-
on
Great. That'd be great. Make all
I
the money you want. Have fun. Life's
I
a party.
think where we are in this discussion is like there's a difference between chasing a popular trend and just exploring for the sake of exploring. Like, I don't know any of Post Malone's music, but let's just say that he started out as a rap artist and he actually found his wheelhouse with country and said, you know what, I actually really like this. I'm going to keep doing it. Then that is kind of, and I don't know that that's the case, but I'm saying like hypothetically, that would be a case of him staying true to himself because he's just finding out, and maturing that
Mhm.
that he, likes doing this one thing better and not necessarily riding a wave of popularity. Now, I don't know that's what happened, but I'm just saying hypothetically that can happen.
No, and I
Well,
agree.
Music makes it complicated. Let's go to actors. That'll
Okay.
be clear.
Nicolas Cage, I think, is a huge sellout. I like it. I like some of his stuff again, but I think he's a huge sellout because he will take just about any role possible.
Yeah, I feel like that's a reverse sellout. He's just
How,
like a little
though?
rat creature scrounging in the mud for any
It-
movies with $150,000 budget. He'll give him an egg sandwich. Like he's not.
I mean,
not,
yeah,
like,
maybe he's just
selling out.
yeah,
He's
maybe
not
he's just doing it
abandoning-
for the fun of it.
He's not
like,
abandoning his Nicolas Cage art form to make billions of dollars. No, he's sacrificing his acting career so he can make money to pay rent because he has a gambling problem.
I don't know. I mean, and maybe that is the thing. Maybe we need to pick out like what we're talking about. Sellouts, because to me that is it. Tom
Selling
Cruise
out
would
doesn't
be
mean
another
making
one.
less money.
No, I'm not saying making money. I'm saying you're following, kind of like what Dave said earlier. You're following a trend
Yeah.
for the sake of making more money. All you're doing is you're following the trend. there for the longest time, horror movies were the big rave. Now they're starting to like kind of like slow down just a tad, but all of these really high popular actors that you never would see in a horror movie started acting in them. Everybody wanted to be in a Marvel movie. Everybody wanted to be in the DC movies. It's like all of these things like that, and it's not for the sake of themselves. It's for the sake of being able to just make money. And I get it. Money is what makes the world go round.
We all know they're sellouts, but what we're asking is who's the sellout. We can talk about the general idea of selling out all night, but who are we saying is the sellout?
Okay, well let's talk about that one.
Right,
I gave mine
because he's losing money by doing all these roles, and he knows he is. That's why he's taking crappy movies, just like John Travolta and Steven Seagal and all these other has-beens.
Oh, who wants John Travolta in their movie anymore?
John Travolta does.
Is he making his own movies now?
Oh, probably has his own production company like Steven Seagal.
I mean, kind of. Well, the whole thing with John Travolta and the Scientology thing that kind of like really screwed him over. Okay. I think Tom Cruise, because again, Tom Cruise, like, and I know that I know that he doesn't depict a lot of them, but he has made major steps in making as many of the stupid Mission Impossible movies there are. And the reason why is because he knows people go to watch him. And
yeah, but he's always been a sellout.
He's a horrible actor. Like,
yeah, that's why he's always done action movies. He's not selling out by doing action movies. That's just what he's done his whole career.
No, but it's
like, John, can you give me one actor who's actually a sellout and is not just a normal person?
But see, okay, how is it a normal person? How many?
He's an action movie star. You're
how many? But how many action movies? No. How many Mission Impossible movies are there?
7, 8 coming out next year.
Matter.
Okay, 8 of them. There should have been 1.
Now the first one was actually really good.
It's irrelevant to him being a sellout.
No, because he's willing to do this over again just to make money.
If money is not what a sellout is.
If I come up with an idea and it turns out to be a hit, I'm gonna make a sequel to that idea and try to make it a hit as well.
See, but
right. What would be a sellout is if he gave up that idea and stopped doing action movies to do dramas and romance
and started singing country.
That would be a sellout. Him doing the same thing he's done his whole career is not selling out. It's just a proper career step. Selling out is when you're abandoning your integrity as an artist to make a definite move to something that will make you more money. Tom Cruise has been doing action movies and blockbusters his whole career.
That's true. I mean, Top Gun was a pretty good movie.
He's only done that, so that's not selling out. That's
I didn't see the new one, or did I?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I haven't seen it.
I remember the original.
Like, a sellout would be a dramatic actor going to do like non-dramatic roles to make more money. That would be selling out.
I mean, a number of those do like show up on comedy shows and stuff, just for fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, a genuine career switch. One example would be the guy from Twilight.
That narrows it down to like 15 of them.
The main guy, the white guy.
The guy who was in Harry
Robert
Potter.
Pattinson?
Yeah.
Why can't I think of the actor?
Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson, thank you.
Oh yeah, did he become Batman at some point?
Yeah, he became Batman. He went from doing like 17 independent movies, and then he did Batman to make more money and started actually building his career. Now that's selling out. He's leaving independent film to do blockbusters. That's a shift.
But see, to me, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a sellout, because to me, that is a step in excelling your career. He's actually, like, it's not like he went out and he made this movie and now back to what he was doing before. It's, they needed a Batman. He fit the role. And because of that, he is able to do more.
Right, just like Tom Cruise.
But Tom Cruise fund the majority of his own movies.
Right.
And he makes them just because people will watch them. To me, that is a version of a sellout, because, for one example is the Mummy movie that he made. Nobody remembers it because it was that horrible, but so many people went and watched it because it was Tom Cruise.
I mean,
that's not what a sellout is. You have to define selling out is going from having less to having more, because you change your career path for just money. Tom Cruise never did that. He's always been gunning for the money from day one. He's not a sellout, he's just a capitalist.
And the concept you just described like could apply to dozens, maybe even hundreds of actors. Like they all occasionally do, a crappy movie, and thousands of people come and watch it because of that actor, and everybody's let down. It happens.
Doesn't mean they're a sellout. It means they have good name recognition.
And it means that occasionally, they can't all be winners. Occasionally, you do a crappy movie.
But what does that have to do with sellouts? It has nothing to do with sellouts. You're talking about actors who sold out their careers. And we haven't had a single demonstration of that.
Well, then give one.
I just did. Robert Pattinson. You disagreed.
See, but I don't. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see it on that one.
Okay. Jack Black.
He is actually a talented dramatic actor, from like the early 2000s.
But I'm trying to trying to think of what dramatic role he played.
Shallow Hal.
That was, but that was comedy.
It was a comedy movie, but if you actually pay attention to it, it's actually
but he went from a different style of comedy. He went from like lowbrow grunge comedy and absurdism to vanilla pop culture comedy to make more money.
But Jack Black isn't in anything that's serious anymore.
But
ever.
would that be considered a sellout, or would that be considered maturity? Because you could make the same argument with Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler sucks.
Going from his slapstick stuff to now, it's more of a.
I mean, Adam Sandler has always been a comedic actor. If you want to call out some of his movies that were sellouts, it's the more one, like Spanglish, which.
No, but when he's going back and forth between dramatic and silly roles, that's not selling out because he's not made a total career shift. He's just having fun with roles. Adam Sandler's making so much money. He's made so much money he can't sell out. He's just like.
Right, but I mean, but like the original argument on this one was you guys brought up like Jack Black and how he was, very lowbrow starting off to where now he's kind of just a neutral, the generic,
like funny sing and dance man
comedy thing, and like I said, you can make that same argument with people like Adam Sandler because again, I don't know that it's necessarily selling out your career as much as you're maturing, because
it sounds like nobody's a sellout and we all just need to be more.
It sounds like the three of us can't really agree, because what one person sees as selling out, another person sees as career growth and development, vice versa.
John said that following a pattern is selling out, and I just don't get it.
I mean, following a pattern, it's not following the pattern as far as I guess and I could shoot myself in the foot with this one. A lot of it, I think, going back to what we originally started off with when it comes to music, it's switching genres for the sake of country music's popular, so you've got all these pop singers that are switching to country music. Pop music is popular, so you got all of these country music, country stars and rock stars that are switching to pop music, and vice versa. Everybody's going, everybody tries to do a rap thing every once in a while because it's popular, and it's just like they're following the trend. I guess that's the thing. If we want to focus the rest of this episode into that particular thing, it's those that follow the trend, not for the sake of their own art, but for the sake of what's popular for money.
Right, but that's a particular way of selling out. That's not selling out in general, though.
That's
what I'm trying to point out, is selling out can take on multiple forms while following that same pattern.
And then the question becomes so let's say you've got a pop star who suddenly decides to go country because that happens to be popular at the moment. Mm-hmm. Was that person's decision, or was it their producer's decision, or their label's decision? Or because some of these people are just kind of forced into it because, hey, it's popular and we need to make money. And if you release an album that becomes irrelevant, we're not going to pay for you to record anymore, and that's the end of your career. So sometimes you have to do it just to keep your career going so you can do what's true to yourself.
Which sucks.
Yes.
And it does.
But it is true. It happens.
But at the same time, there are other labels. Let's say it's the label's fault for doing that. Yeah. Because they want to make that shift. There are other labels that up that artist to keep them where they're at, knowing
Not if they get
that's
a
going to
reputation for
be-
being difficult to work with.
Yep, and also not if you're under contract.
That's
what they
true.
do, is they'll lock you up in multi-album contracts, and it's like,
And there'll be an anti-compete clause, so you literally can't. If they drop you, you literally can't go back into the business for a set amount of time.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I have so many people that I think are sellouts that you guys probably won't, but it's just, you know.
I think the bottom line here, and it's too early to be wrapping up yet, but I think we've learned something today. That nothing is as simple as it seems. Everything is a lot more complex and nuanced than people realize.
Yeah.
no, I think everything's super simple, and we should ignore nuance and destroy our enemies.
Yes. What was it? It was a Futurama quote. Zap Brannigan, I believe, said, ever since, what was it? Ever since humanity met someone else with a different language and a different way of looking at things, we've had one goal: to kill him, so we don't have to learn his language or his new way of looking at things.
That's great. I think that's a really good philosophy. to
I
stand
had to have paraphrased it, but Zap Brannigan said something like that in Futurama. I don't remember the exact quote.
And I don't know. To me, I'm a like, what would it be considered? Like a purist when it comes to certain, art forms. When it comes to certain music, I like the fact of there are certain groups, there are certain bands or certain singers that have never left that particular thing, and they've said they've never left. Some of them even go out and start their own record label, producing label, for the sake of being able to do exactly what they want to do.
Right, and those are the lucky ones, but not everyone has that privilege.
It seems like nowadays everybody has that option. Everybody's starting their own record label. Everybody's, switching labels and things like that. I think, okay, if we, no, I won't get into it. I don't know, but that's me. That's just me. I like, the artists. Like, one of my favorite bands is Poets of the Fall. Not a lot of people know them. They are a very good, like, rock band. They're a Norwegian rock band. They actually were about to be picked up by Universal Studios, but Universal Studios said, we want a certain percentage of what you're going to do, and they said no, went out and started their own record label, and because of that have never lost a single band member. Like, they've kept the exact same band members for the past 25 years.
Do you have any idea how lucky that is? Like, bands do not last. Eventually there's infighting or a whole host of things that can drive a band apart. So, like, for any band to retain all of its original members for a time period like that, that is rare and extremely lucky.
Yeah. And I like that band because of that particular thing. But I think there are a lot of people that tend to, like, have their own record labels, and I could be wrong on that, where they tend to just want to shift, not because they're tired of what they're doing or they want to experiment. It's, this is popular, so this is what we're going to do.
Uh-huh.
Well, it sounds like what we need is more of that. More of artists breaking from these corporations who steal their money and want to control their careers.
Oh, I fully
And
agree.
we have more independent studios that can grow and allow for that.
Labels don't
process.
actually do much for the artists anymore.
But if your label was run by an artist who actually cares about what they're doing, like, if I'm producing country, I want to see young guys and gals do country and, like, have backing for that. If
But
I'm rock,
on the
pop punk, whatever.
Yeah, on the flip side, if let's say I'm an artist and I run a studio and I just love country, I'm going to let anybody into that studio to record who shares that passion, and that would include Post Malone.
Sure.
Or anyone else who says, you know what, I love country music. You know who's an avid country fan? Avril Lavigne, and she can really belt it out.
Yes, and she can.
She's a punk rocker, but she's actually really talented with country as well.
Yes.
We love Avril on this podcast. She's our
Yes, we do.
I do. Yeah.
We do.
Marry me, Avril.
Bro, she's married to Chad Kroger.
Not anymore.
What?
That's been years.
Oh, sorry, I don't keep up with Avril Lavigne's marital
That's been
status.
years. Okay.
Fan.
Okay. Let's take a couple seconds and talk about not Avril Lavigne and Chad Kroger.
Well, why do we have to
But-
start talking about Avril Lavigne? I was having fun.
But let's talk about these Hollywood marriages for the sake of clout.
Oh, that's been going on for decades.
Right, but how many of them?
That's nothing new.
Like, how many of them are actual marriages, and how many of them are? Well, this person's popular, so I'm gonna go marry them for 6 months, and build myself up, and then I'm gonna leave them and go somewhere else.
Well, if it lasts less than a year, it was a publicity stunt. Otherwise, it might be real.
But that's the thing.
Kanye's
Is I think
marriage was real.
What?
Kanye's
I didn't hear.
marriage was real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. It was a real disaster.
Hey, no, it was great. It was her fault. He did
I think
nothing
we
wrong.
should have elected Kanye.
No, you guys should have elected me so I can have Kanye be my general, and Anthony Hopkins be Secretary of State.
Okay then.
Anthony Hopkins would be a good Secretary of State.
Or Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House. He'd be like, "Hello, Clarice. The economy is messed up."
Just every once in a while does the whole lisp thing.
Into the
Looks like
cab.
he's gonna eat the reporters so they don't ask scary questions against the party. Awesome.
But I don't know. And like I said, that the best thing about this podcast, the best thing about this episode, which I actually kind of enjoy this episode because we're not agreeing with anything. And
No, we
it's-
really
I don't
aren't.
know
It's-
who you guys are. I thought you were both like super intelligent, well thought men until we had this discussion.
We agreed on one thing. We love Avril Lavigne.
yes.
We love Avril.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
We want Anthony Hopkins to be Speaker of the House. What does that have to do with selling out?
I
The reason
just
our podcast has the name it has. This is
I-
retarded. Or sorry,
chaotic.
Say that.
It's chaotic. That's
It's
the-
chaotic.
the-
Observed retardation or chaos. Sorry.
but
Get us
that
canceled.
that is, I don't know. Like I said, to me, I guess that's where I'm at when it comes to all of this stuff. And I know the conversation that you and I started to have the other day. I have to
was
stop Dave.
vastly different from this.
It is different. I had to stop Dave from talking about what we, having more of that conversation because I didn't want to like give stuff up. And obviously, yeah, we went a completely different direction.
as is the way it goes.
Yes. But I don't know. I don't like the fact that people will start in a certain area and then you have that culture shift and
They just try
shift
to follow
along
right
with
along
it.
with it. Yeah.
Because in my opinion, that takes from these small artists that are trying to come up in that particular genre.
Mm.
And you're pushing them further down because now here is the giant name that's coming in and they're
That's-
swooping in. And to me, that's where I have
Okay.
issues.
I can see that. I can understand that point.
Like you and I talked about the other day about how, Taylor Swift tended to kind of be that way where she was little bitty country and then she started to kind of get bigger and bigger and then she went to pop, which she found her.
Yeah,
She
I
found
think
her
I
niche.
think her niche was always going to be pop because
Yeah.
even when she was a quote unquote country singer, it was pop country. It was like cutesy
Mm-hmm.
and like those are the only songs I heard. Oh,
Yeah.
or like the
Her third album actually had a lot of rock influence. It was like country pop rock. It was actually really cool. I wish she would have continued in that direction because you don't see a lot of that. But instead, she sold out.
but I mean
Hooker.
maybe that's not the direction that made.
Sorry,
Maybe
did I say
that's
that?
not the direction that was going to make her happy. I think her niche has always been pop, but that
Yes.
said, I know she knows how to rock and how to do other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole point that I was trying to make the other night is that like we put these, especially female pop stars, we put them in this box of like, oh, it's pop music, it's cheesy. And a lot of them do have the range and the chops to go way above and beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor
I love pop
included.
singers.
What?
I love pop music. It just
Yeah.
has its place.
Yeah, it has its place. It's fun. You know, it's. I mean, what are you gonna? No one's gonna dance to Metallica at a wedding. Okay, most people would dance to Metallica at a wedding.
I mean, can you imagine having a mosh pit at your wedding?
Okay, that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
my wife's just not
that's-
gonna like it 'cause
That's the first.
But, I mean, that's not really dancing though.
That's the first dance of the bride and groom.
We're
Gonna throw them into a
moshing.
mosh pit.
We're gonna be moshing to Usher.
darkness imprisoning. No, people are gonna be dancing to songs like "Shake It Off," and old disco hits and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm okay with that. You know, we talked about Haley Williams there for a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, and I kind of like Haley Williams because she has kept herself kind of
she's
in
been
that.
pretty consistent. The whole as from the moment I first heard her name,
Yeah.
she's pretty much the same person.
But I don't know that that's necessarily putting her in a box as much as she has found that spot and she's I'm there.
She is damn
She's just
good
awesome.
where she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. But I think there are other people, and again, to me, the big
And-
Beyonce thing, because I can't
Incidentally,
stand
that is what
Beyonce,
sparked
but-
this whole conversation because here's the sequence of events. It was after work.
Mhm.
I had a prescription picked up. The drive-through line was taking a very, very long time, so I was flipping through TikTok, and I came upon a video of Haley Williams singing "The Only Exception" and
Mhm.
frickin' belting it out, man.
Yeah.
She's
And
awesome.
that's about the time when I started texting you, like, why do I love her and Avril so much?
Yeah.
And that's
Haley-
where this all
Wait,
came
Haley
from.
Williams or Avril, guys?
Avril.
Why choose?
No, I'm asking.
Avril.
'Cause I think it's not even close.
I mean, I still have to go with
Avril? No, bro.
I
Haley
love
Williams.
Haley. Don't get me wrong here.
Avril
Like,
is
Haley's
a hit
amazing.
maker. Haley is an album builder. She's like
Haley's too close to Taylor Swift. That's the reason why I don't
No.
like her.
no.
No, she.
They're a punk band.
But Haley Williams and Taylor Swift are
No,
best
they are
friends.
literally friends.
They're
They know each
literally
other.
best friends with each other.
Paramore opened for Taylor on
Yeah,
tour.
okay.
Yes.
So it was really nice that Taylor let that Haley let Taylor close for her. But
Yes, that's how it went.
I guess we could see it that way. Yeah.
but the truth of the matter is, just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean like that you've altered your status as an artist, or that you're not as good as Avril Lavigne. Being friends with Taylor Swift doesn't invalidate that Haley Williams just has better music than Avril.
It does to me.
and she's hotter.
No.
No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Not even close.
No.
No.
That punk that Avril has is just.
You think Haley Williams never had a punk look? Look, I'm
No,
too
she
young-
hasn't.
no.
I'm too
She
old.
hasn't.
Actually, no, I'm too young to be talking about Haley Williams or Avril Lavigne in this way. So I'm gonna, and we're already over time. So I'm gonna step away before this conversation about selling out becomes me comparing women in their 40s.
Now I will say, if
I
you
don't think
really
Haley's that old.
no,
I know
she's-
Avril is in her
38,
40s,
she's
but
Yeah.
37.
yeah, if you really want to get a good taste of Avril Lavigne's range, because we've talked about it, like music, she can
Yeah.
do some country stuff. She did what was the song? Fuel. by
Yeah, I remember
Metallica.
that.
And I mean that was
She wrote the song
amazing.
"Breakaway" by Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, yeah, there's another one. though.
She recorded it herself as well, but
Right.
everyone knows that version.
Again, I don't think that's so much as a sellout as
No, she's a talented
very
songwriter.
talented, and being able to do that is fine.
If you listen to that song, you really hear her influence.
Right. But at this time, like, what I respect about Avril more is that where she has these ranges, she's not put in. I don't think she's put in a box where, as much as just like Haley Williams, she's found that spot and she's just saying, "Okay, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going to be." Because true fans of Avril Lavigne will stick with her, whereas she's not following
Trends.
the trend. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
she's
she was-
ultimately following
She was
money.
a punk rocker from the beginning, but she also had a great appreciation for country, and she's a really talented songwriter. So really, the conclusion of that is, like, she's not selling out by trying out all these different genres. Girl can just do anything.
Right.
that
Right.
she puts her mind to and be pretty at it. Like,
Yes. And I think at this point she can do just whatever she wants to do. She has my seal of approval to do whatever she wants to do. So let us know what you think, because I think we have gotten probably very little to nowhere in this episode.
correct. I don't think we're. I don't think we've gotten anywhere.
But we started off I don't know, because this is one of those episodes where we started off so strong.
I don't think so. It was pretty awkward for the first 10 minutes.
That was you guys. I was playing with Dolly. I said, you guys talk. My priority was somewhere else.
Right.
I sold out to the cat. So, but let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know, what your version of a sellout, who you think is a particular sellout, or whether or not you think they're even out there or not. We'll find out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you do like this type of thing, check out all our other videos that we've made out. And
we did not make out in any of our videos. Just want to be clear about that. There was no making out.
not in the ones we've posted.
Yes.
So no, let us know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to check out our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook page. Hit those likes and subscribe buttons there too. We love your support. And happy Veterans Day to all of our
that's today.
To all of our veterans. We thank you all for your service. We thank you for everything that you've done so far for our country. And for those that are still serving, which we know it's not veterans, we thank you for what you are doing for
Yes.
the service. So again, thank you so much. Noah obviously had to go. So we will sign off without him. But I am John.
I am Dave.
Have a great night, everybody.
And that was Noah. Yes.
That was Noah. Yes.
Yes.
See you guys next time.